wrestling fans, F and true followers and members of the WC. Brian Crazy,
JC Styles,
with the F and brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com. Thank you for tuning in once again. We are back with our Monday Night Raw review from March 19th, 2012. We start off the show with WWE Champion CM Punk making his way to the ring. CM Punk cuts a great promo.
Yes, we hear CM Punk talk about the comments that Jericho made about Punk's father last week, about the alcohol abuse, how CM Punk became straight edge because his father wasn't around, because his father was always drinking himself to sleep. We basically see Punk talk about his father and how his father got the help that he needed, and how he's more proud of his father now than he ever was. Then he talks about a monster being built up inside, and says that at WrestleMania he is going to unleash the monster. Following that comments, right as Punk is getting ready to make his exit, we see Chris Jericho show up on the jumbo screen.
Yes, Chris Jericho shows up on the jumbo screen, and he seems to show remorse for the comments made about CM Punk's father, and basically says, you know what, Punk, your father's going to be off limits from now on. I'm not going to say anything else about him. But then he says, hey, your sister is a complete other story. He goes in to talk about how CM Punk's sister supposedly has a substance abuse problem, which CM Punk denies, and these two men go back and forth. Basically, the promo ends with CM Punk promising to beat the bullshit, out of Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 28.
Yes. Then we go into the Kane versus Big Show match, which we saw as we see Big Show make his way down to the ring. Cody Rhodes hits a video package of Big Show's most embarrassing WrestleMania moments. We also see Cody Rhodes make his way to ringside wearing boxing gloves in shadow boxing, which led to Big Show's distraction, allowing Kane to hit a chokeslam off the second rope, I believe it was, and Kane picked up the win. And why don't you let them know what happened post-match?
Sounds good. Post-match, Cody Rhodes ends up hitting the disaster kick on the Big Show. At this point, he handcuffs him to the rope and then starts unleashing fists of fury with those boxing gloves. I think he was trying to be reminiscent of the situation that occurred between Big Show and Floyd Money Mayweather. Unfortunately, Cody Rhodes, talented athlete, no Floyd Mayweather, but still, talented athlete, nonetheless.
It was like Big Show was telling him, hey, I got a tick on the top of my head, you mind hitching it for me? Basically, I mean,
Big Show is a monster,
yeah.
So you got to imagine the force that Floyd Mayweather, must have had to knock Big Show out in one punch.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, if you have the special 3-disc edition of WrestleMania, leading up to that, Big Show is actually speaking with Mayweather during an exclusive interview, and he says, I want you to unload on me and make it as real as possible. I didn't really think Big Show knew that he was going to hit him with a loaded hand with brass knucks, and just knocked Big Show. And Big Show was walking around for I think at least 2 to 3 weeks with the giant black and blue of Mayweather's knuckles in the side of his jaw.
Well, when you're going against a giant like that and he's getting down on one knee and giving you that one shot, hell, you better get it right.
Hell yeah.
So we go into the next match, which is David Otunga, the captain of Team Laurinaitis, going against the captain of Team Long, Santino Marella, who is also the current United States champion. This match is not for the title. It's a pretty decent match. I mean, it's not too long, but we saw a couple good spots. We got to see Santino do the headbutt.
Yes, I love that headbutt. We
got to see him try to unleash the Cobra. I mean, it was a good, solid match for Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, I think fans are not understanding
Santino's in-ring humor.
Yeah, not getting his in-ring humor, not understanding the complexities of the business, not understanding the era that we find ourselves currently in,
exactly.
Not understanding that the era that we saw in the late 90s to the early 2000s to crash television was because of the threat and the competition from World Championship Wrestling. It is a different time. We either can enjoy the product now or stop watching. I'm just tired of the continued criticism of the product.
Yes. We see David Otunga pick up the win when Santino grabs John Laurinaitis' cell phone, and I believe he smashes it. I had my head turned real quick, and I didn't get to see that, but you heard Michael Cole say, hey, that's the man's cell phone, which led to David Otunga picking up the win. And right before the video break, they show a video package of more hyping up of the confrontation between Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and The Undertaker, followed by a like a screenshot of the upcoming Rock promo, which was following the commercial break.
Yes, when we come back from commercial break, and The Rock is on the big screen. He is in the streets of Philadelphia. He is in front of the statue of
Rocky Balboa.
Rocky Balboa, excuse me. I knew I had that written down in my notes. And basically he's talking about how he posed in front of that statue when he was a child, and talked about some other things. You want to cover them?
Before we get into it, actually, I was watching Rocky 5 last night, believe it or not, and I also woke up this morning and I watched Rocky Balboa, a very good movie. Rocky Balboa is very, very highly criticized by the big motion picture viewers, and not a lot of people understood why they had the ending the way that they did. And you know what? At the end during the credits, they showed everyone posing, a lot of people posing with the Rocky statue and running up the stairs where the library was, where he all the priceless works of art that they had in that little plaza there. And not a lot of people know this, but when Rocky was shooting Rocky 5, he was getting a lot of comments about how some way, shape, or form the Rocky Balboa character inspired their life, their motivation to get out there and take that shot and get that opportunity, whether it's in any type of version of sports, whether it's just, you know, getting that big job promotion, or getting a job, or doing something constructive with their life, getting outside and being proactive. And I think that's where The Rock was kind of going for this promo, and it was a fire promo. And basically The Rock doing the comedy like he always does, saying he's going to take a Philly cheesesteak and stick it right up John Cena's Fruity Pebbles ass. And
exactly.
I thought that was funny. I almost fell out of my chair.
Oh, it was absolutely phenomenal. The Rock has been on his A game the last few weeks. When he came back, I almost think, you know, from the behind the scenes, we're talking, you know, stepping back from kayfabe for a minute, I think, honestly, The Rock is a seasoned veteran. So I think the WWE more than likely had him skimp a little bit on his promos, act a little bit shaky, but, you know, give credit where credit's due. Credit where credit's due. John Cena's gone into this pretty damn well, too. And so has The Rock. And the other thing about The Rock is, okay, first time he was in front of 20,000 people in a long time. I mean, that's big, you know what I mean? So, you know, I mean, you could argue that situation for a long time. Check out our Epic WrestleMania discussion where we covered it in more detail, and also check out our WrestleMania 28 predictions where we talked about this subject yet again. We go into the next match, which is Daniel Bryan versus the returning Zack Ryder.
Biggest news of the night, Zack Ryder returning. I mean, I was ecstatic and I was marking out like hell. And then later in the night, Shawn Michaels came out and I marked out even bigger. But that's another topic for later in the video.
Wow.
So we move into the next match where we see Daniel Bryan pick up the win with the LeBell Lock after an epic reversal out of the Rough Rider. We see John Cena come out and pick up the win over Mark Henry, and John Cena just showing John Cena's back to 100%, regardless of what WWE staff and trainers say. He brought his A game and he picked up a big Mark Henry with a big attitude adjustment to pick up that win.
Oh, he did. He did. And then we see The Rock make his way down to the ring, says nothing, hits the rock bottom on Mark Henry,
slaps his chest, points to the boots to ashes, and then walks out.
And makes his exit. Classic Rock. It was just phenomenal. I mean, the build so far throughout the night just felt so good and so inspiring going into WrestleMania as a fan. You're watching the show and you're like, man, I can't wait to see this happen in front of me.
Yeah. Also, little side note, Flow Rider has been announced to be forming at WrestleMania 28. Also, Machine Gun Kelly will be performing for John Cena's entrance. Then we see yet again another video package hyping up Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Undertaker later in the night. Then we saw the extra package where we find out that the Divas Tag Team match will be officially confirmed as of right now for WrestleMania. Kelly, Maria Menounos versus Eve Torres and Beth Phoenix.
That is correct. We will see Maria Menounos make her return to the ring. She wrestled last year at Tribute to the Troops, where she did pretty well. And I like Maria Menounos because she actually wants to learn some wrestling maneuvers. She just doesn't want to come in and do a backflip and try to pull some hair. She actually wants to learn a few maneuvers and be able to perform in the ring. And it's a great crossover between the wrestling and the entertainment business, and it gets wrestling out there a little bit more.
Yes.
All the people that were watching Extra and follow Maria Menounos, there's a good chance they're going to be interested in what happens at WrestleMania.
Exactly.
That's increasing viewership, that's getting your name out there more, and that's what the WWE has done since the very first WrestleMania with The Rock and Wrestling Connection.
Yes.
You want to take the next segment?
Yes, we go into The Miz coming out and talks about how he personally invited John Laurinaitis to ringside, which we didn't really see John Laurinaitis come outside. He was sitting backstage with Sir Sips-a-Lot, David Otunga. Carlton, bow tie. And
it's not unusual to be loved.
We see Sheamus pick up the win over The Miz, and then basically we see John Laurinaitis shake his head. We go to commercial. We come back with Randy Orton's promo, and just run down this promo real quick. He basically says he's bringing it to Kane at WrestleMania.
Exactly. He said, you know what, Kane? Last year when I beat you so bad, you actually shook my hand. I brought out the humanity in you. But you are confused. I am not. I know exactly who I am. I know exactly what I need to do. And at WrestleMania 28, basically, you're mine.
Yes.
I mean, to sum it up, it was short and sweet and to the point. Then out comes Vicky Guerrero, and nobody gets heat in the WWE like Vicky Guerrero. She comes out and announces the two newest members of Team Laurinaitis at WrestleMania 28 in the big 6-on-6 tag team match. Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger. They will go against R-Truth and Kofi Kingston.
Yes. This also led to the tag team match, Kofi and R-Truth to take on Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler, where we saw R-Truth put his leg on the bottom rope. We see Vicky Guerrero push it off, and we see Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger pick up the win. We're not gonna stay too hard on this topic. We moved into the next and last segment of the night, which was...
Well, after the match, very, very important, we saw Vicky Guerrero and Oksana brawl.
Yes.
And you got to think, Vicky Guerrero being the manager of two of those superstars that are involved in that big 6-man match on one side, well, 12-man match of the 6-man, one of the 6-man teams, I should say. And then we've got Oksana, who is the on-screen girlfriend of the general manager, who's in charge of the team. So, I mean, the confrontation was kind of interesting. It's just furthering the build.
Yeah.
I know due to the Wade Barrett situation, then pulling Money in the Bank, this was kind of thrown together quickly. But I think week by week, the story's being told, and it's getting the fan interest just a little bit more.
Yeah. Then we move into the most anticipated moment of the night, which really didn't pay off in my mind. I mean, they didn't really go out there and say anything that we haven't heard for the last 3 weeks, last month.
Basically, they just furthered the build towards WrestleMania. Like JC said, there was no new groundbreaking information or happenings in this promo. Still solid nonetheless. We saw them all go back and forth. It ended with a funny note, I do have to say.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was a solid promo. I would have liked to see a little bit more. We all know that The Undertaker, HBK, and Triple H are three of the best in cutting promos in the WWE. They always have been, and they probably always will be. But we just didn't get to see... We didn't get to see the fire get lit just a little bit more tonight. And it was good. Don't get me wrong. It was good, but it could have been better, and I'm waiting for some physicality.
Yeah.
I mean...
Which I probably think we'll probably see it next week. Before we run up time on this night's review, just guys, please like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check out all the channels that make up the Ephraim brand, Brian's Fight Nation Wrestling, FightNationWrestling.com, where we will be adding weekly, daily updates for you if you guys just want to quickly browse through that and you don't have the time to sit down and watch a full 5 to 10 minute video. Guys, I can't thank, Brian and myself can't thank you enough. Thanks for sticking with us through the good times and the bads. Now we got WrestleMania coming. Hopefully we see everything turn around, and again, thanks. We love you all.
Exactly. We love you guys. Thank you so much for following the Ephraim brand of wrestling and entertainment from its infancy to the point we have reached now. Your support means the world to us. It, not like the guys on here with the View with the Entertainment that come on here just trying to make a few cents off AdSense. We do this for our passion of the business, and also the passion of you fans is what keeps us driving. Thank you for checking this out. Thank you for being loyal. If this is your first time viewing us, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you later.